Hello everyone and welcome to the social science session. So in today's session we will be discussing the lesson the types of government. So let's begin. So children, in this lesson we will first understand what is government. So what is government? A government is a group of people that manages the country. It is a body of people that frames policies and exercises control through various organizations and laws. So basically, what is government? It's a group of people. What is the function of this group of people? It manages the country. How does it manage? So it manages the country, the people of the country through different policies and laws. So I hope all of you have understood what basically government is. So now let us discuss what are the different functions of a government. So the government takes important decisions and performs different functions for the welfare, for the well-being of its citizens through taking care of the health, the education, and of course all the basic needs of the citizens, the basic needs like water, electricity, and various other things. So now let us study them one by one. It undertakes social welfare programs to remove poverty, unemployment, and many other evils from the society. So, from time to time, it organizes various welfare programs. Next, it maintains law and order in the country. If there is no law in the country, then of course the citizens would be indisciplined, which would lead to a lot of crimes. So, in order to keep that part smooth, the government maintains, the law and order in the country through various policies. Next, it maintains peaceful relations with the neighboring countries. So, children, this is also very, very important because keeping a healthy relationship in turn brings peace within the country. So, if we keep a healthy relationship, a friendly relationship with the neighboring countries, of course, there will be peace within that country. So, it's the function, it's the responsibility of the government to maintain a peaceful and a healthy relationship with all the neighboring countries. And I hope all of you know which are the neighboring countries of India. It protects international borders. So at every point of time the army is there protecting the international borders so that the people from other countries do not enter into our own country. It organizes relief work. So from time to time, the government organizes relief or welfare work for the citizens. Next, we see it builds and maintains roads, sewage, etc. So basically, it looks after the basic needs of its citizens, the citizens of the country. Provides electricity, cooking gas, drinking water, etc. to the citizens so that the people lead a proper life. Provides services such as postal and transportation. Builds and runs schools, hospitals, etc. So again we see the government builds and of course runs schools and hospitals For whom? Of course, for the citizens of that country. So these were the functions, and now next we come to the levels of government. So let us understand that India is a huge big country. It's a vast country, and in order to carry out the functions effectively all over the country, the government operates or the government functions at three levels. So what are these three levels? National level, state level, and local level. At the national level, central government manages all the affairs of the country. Next, as the name indicates, the state level. So at state level, the state government looks after the welfare of that particular state. And now the next level is local level. So villages, towns and cities are looked after by the local self-government to solve various issues. So these are the three levels of the government. The national level operating at the center, the state level operating at the state, and of course the local level operating at villages, cities and towns. Moving ahead, now let us take a look at the three organs of the government. So, as we've discussed just now, that one of the most important function of the government is to make laws, and the people have to abide by the laws. The citizens have to work according to these laws, these rules and regulations. The functions of the government are carried out by three organs, right? So, what are these three organs? The first is legislature. What is legislature? It is that organ which makes the laws. So, it is the law-making organ. Next is executive, which implements these laws, the laws which are made, the laws which are framed by the legislature. They are implemented by the executive, right? And finally is the judiciary. So what is judiciary? The judiciary, it looks whether these laws are carried out along with, these laws are whether these laws are carried out in the country properly or not. This is the function of the judiciary, to see to it, as well as it also resolves disputes. So basically, judiciary looks after the laws, whether they are being carried out or not, and at the same time, it also resolves disputes, right? Next, we take a look on the screen. You can see the Parliament House. So what is the Parliament House? In our country, laws for the whole nation are made by the Parliament, which is a legislative body. So here the laws are passed, they are amended, and everything related to the laws, the policies are carried out here in the Parliament. Next, let's discuss the different types of government. So, we begin with monarchy. So, what is monarchy? It's the oldest and the most common form of a government. So, here in monarchy, the king or the queen is the supreme head, the authority, you can say. So it's the oldest and the most common form of a government where the power completely lies with the king or the queen. And the best example you can see on the screen, the the picture of Jalaluddin Akbar. All of you must have heard about him. He was a great Mughal king, right? And we see that Mughal dynasty, as well as in other dynasties or other empires, we see the king was the supreme head. Then after the death of the king, his son became the king, the new king, isn't it? So in monarchy, there was no system of selection. The son automatically became the king, or the daughter became the queen after the death of the king, right? So this is monarchy. Moving ahead, we discuss the next form of government, and that is dictatorship. So on the screen, I hope you can see the picture of Adolf Hitler. So let us first understand what is dictatorship. So here in this form of government, all powers lie with one individual or a small group of powerful people, right? So that particular individual or that particular group, that's the head of the country. Everything is done as per the whims and wishes of the that particular individual or the group or that particular group, right? The best example is Adolf Hitler, who was a German and he was the leader of Nazi party. So he is the best example of dictatorship, right? He is the best example of a dictator. Next, we move on to the unitary form of government, right? So let's understand what is unitary form first. So here one government is there for the entire country, the entire nation, right? And the best examples are Great Britain and China, and you can see the picture of Xi Jinping, the president of the current president of China. After unitary government, we move on to the next form of government, that is the federal government. So here in federal government, the power is distributed between the center and the state. So there is no individual or looking after the entire country like dictatorship or monarchy. Here the power is distributed between the center and the state, and the best examples are United States of America and our very own India. So you can see on the screen the picture of the current president of USA, that is Joe Biden. So I hope the different forms of government is very clear to everybody. Now next, let us move on to a very important part of this lesson, that is democracy. So let us understand what is democracy first. So democracy is the type of government where the supreme power lies with the common people. So very important to understand, the entire power lies with the citizens of the country, and the best example is our very own India and USA as well. So here we can see the picture of the Prime Minister of India, that is Mr. Narendra Modi. So I hope you understand what is democracy. Democracy is that form of that form of government where the leaders or the representatives are elected by casting votes. And who casts these votes? Of course, the citizens of that country, the people, the common people of the country. The person who gets the maximum number of votes is the winner, right? And many leaders are chosen through elections and they become the decision makers who run the country. So the democracy has been beautifully and very aptly described by Abraham Lincoln. You can see the picture of Abraham Lincoln. So he described democracy as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So what does it mean? It uh, it describes democracy in a very apt manner, right? In a very clear way, that this is the form of government which is formed by the people only. So who are forming it? The people, the citizens of the country. They are only forming the, they are, I mean, they are electing the representatives, and those elected representatives are only forming the government, right? So they are being elected, they are, I mean, the government is formed by the people. Now, the government is working for whom? Of course, for the people, right? And it belongs to whom? It belongs to the people only. So his definition of democracy, that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, very well describes democracy, the democratic form of government. So with this, we will wind up our session here. In the next session, we will be discussing, of course, in the next video, we will be discussing the different types of democracy. So I hope till here the chapter is very, very clear to all of you. So thank you so much.